Okay, my name is Andrea Wilson, and today I'm going to be presenting for Les Printemps, or Springtime, by Pierre-Auguste Cot for my Art 100A class. So a little bit of information about the artist that I actually chose is that he was born February 1837, and he died in July of 1883. He studied in Toulouse before he actually traveled to Paris, and while he was studying, he studied under famous artists like Cartier, Cabanel, and Bourgeois, who were his mentors. And he also became an artist during the same era as Van Gogh. So for the first painting on the left, which is Springtime, I wanted to thoroughly analyze it. So at first, you can see the soft light that really reflects on the young girl, and you can see how even though there's not much of a highlight on the young boy who's with her, he can give you the visual aspect that he's focusing on her just as the highlight is. And this soft light also complements her white gown, which typically reflects innocence, though in this painting it's somewhat risque because it is entirely see-through. And if you look at their faces, which is also highlighted by the soft light, you can actually see the visual eye contact that they give, and it really embraces the emotions. And then they are also surrounded by several different aspects of springtime and new life, and a theme of this painting was like new love, which everything around them is blossoming just like their love for each other is. So another painting by Cot is The Storm, La Tempête, and it is very similar to his first painting. So for the first feature, which is the major trend, is the ray of light that follows the young girl, and she also is wearing a white see-through gown, which can be deemed risque. And again, we can see the same look that the young boy is giving her, and those emotions have traveled to this painting. And while this looks like a similar couple, they're actually not the same couple. And then, so for the third painting, I wanted to compare to an earlier artist who was just before Cot's time, and the name of this artist was Jean-Honoré Fragonard, and the painting I chose was The Swing. And it's possible that Cot was actually influenced by him because we can see some of the same elements and artistic critiques in it. So, starting off again, we can see the same highlight of light that surrounds the young woman in the photograph. And there's also soft colors that bring out her soft features, using the pale pinks and blues. And then for her, you can also see that same reflection of gazing down at her significant other or potential lover. And behind her is her servant, and in front of her, she seems to be kicking off her shoes to give her suitor a look underneath her dress, which deemed this painting very risque in the time period that it was actually painted. And so overall, these three paintings are very similar, and while the relationship between the first two paintings are similar, they're not actually the same couple, but you can see the same trends, the same colors, the same highlights, and you can also see those reflected in The Swing, which again could have been an influence. And all three of these paintings exhibit the newness of spring, the newness of love, the newness of light, and these aren't just paintings, they're works of art, and they tell a story without any explanation. And those are my references.